Hey, business building warrior. Welcome to Silent Sales Machine Radio. I've got a guest today. This is another one of those episodes that most people say they love the best is when we bring on a student from our community to share their story. Chelsea is our guest today. She got into e-commerce a little over a year ago. She discovered our community soon after. She actually got a free copy of my book. That's what started her. There'll be a link in the show notes where you can go grab that if you'd like as well. We'd love to send you a copy completely free, no shipping and handling or anything, just delivered right to your email. Check it out. That's what got her started. And she said she believed us, she trusted us, she loved what she heard. She decided to jump in. She got a coach pretty early on as well in her journey, a coach from our team. If you'd like to talk to us about that, we'd love to have a completely free conversation with you. We promise we'll leave you better than we found you. Just give you some great info. And if you want to go forward, cool. If not, most people don't. We talk to people all day, every day. Most of them don't become clients. Either it's not a good fit, not the right time, whatever, but we give them a bunch of great resources and advice. If you want to have that conversation, get on our calendar, silentjimdotcom/book a call, all one word, book a call. That's where you go to see our text, our phone number, our schedule. If you want to book and schedule a time to meet on Zoom or to have a conversation with us, all those options at silentjim.com. Click on the coaching link. So back to Chelsea and her story. She's sold 5 figures at this point in a single 30-day period at great margins. She shares that with us. Her margins are almost 18% net profit. She's doing tremendous. She's got a great coach. She talks about that today, how she sources, how her family helps her find some of the great creative products that she's sourcing, even all over the country. She's found certain things and said, hey, go to this store and grab it. She tells us which store she's excited about right now. But she's got coming up on about 100 different products that she's found that she's selling, and she's doing great. But the most important thing, I think, from her story that stands out to me, and the reason I love interviewing students who are at this stage is because she's figured out the foundational basics of this business model. There's not a lot more for her to learn in regards to the foundational concepts, how to go find more ASINs, how to manage the daily routines of the business, the workflow, what software she needs at which stage of her growth, how to avoid buying anything that was really stupid to buy, which everybody makes those mistakes thinking they can do it on their own initially. That's a lot of the value of having a coach or some good course material to go through is you don't make those stupid purchases. It's very expensive to learn how to sell on Amazon as a reseller or a private label seller on your own, just thinking, I'll watch some YouTube videos, I'll figure it out, ask questions when I have them. Problem is, you're not going to ask the right questions. You're going to make some really bad, expensive mistakes. Why not get the proven Amazon course instead? And we can handhold you right through the steps. As you'll hear Chelsea share today, she got into the proven Amazon course at provenamazoncourse.com. She elected, it's optional, but she elected to get into a Kickstart group, which costs less than $100 and gives you 4 live sessions with a great coach in a team environment where you've got other new sellers as well, asking questions, going through those first initial setup steps, preventing you from making big mistakes. So if you want to go down that same path that Chelsea went down, she got the proven Amazon course. She elected to get into Kickstart and then quickly decided she wanted to get a coach. And she's going to share all that with you on the show today. You can get links to all of this at silentjim.com. If you have any questions, reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. Enjoy this interview with Chelsea. She's very transparent in her results. Her energy is infectious. I think it's going to be contagious for a lot of people who say, okay, Chelsea did it. I'm encouraged. I'm inspired. I want to do this as well. Enjoy this interview with my new friend. Hey, welcome to the show. Good to see you. How are you, Chelsea?
Thank you very much. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm blessed today. It's about Christmas season, so loving this time of year and lots going on, but I'm excited to hear your story. If you're ready to get into it?
Let's do it.
All right.
I started e-commerce on October 26th, 2024. And it was a nice fall day. I was sitting outside. My husband had just purchased me a new set of earbuds, and I had ran into one of your posts. I don't know how or where. And it was basically about your book. I want to say I paid $6 to listen to your book, but I listened to it in one afternoon. I remember I ended up laughing and crying and doing yard work and moving stones, but I couldn't stop listening to your book.
Wow.
So from finishing that book, I got online, I looked at the pack courses, I kind of did a quick, okay, what is this about? I believed you, Jim. I believed everything that you said. And some of the most powerful pieces of that stuck and still stick. The part when you talk about having that list of people that you could call or who would call you at 2 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning. And that hit me in a way that was really, it was empowering to me. But your genuine sense of life and success and how you do business, I was sold. I was sold. I believed you. So that's when I stepped in to the pack course and I did Jumpstart and I sat and got my Amazon things in order and thought of a name. I had already been running a business. So I already had an EIN. I just needed to do something different than what I had been doing. I needed to make more money. uh, make more money without investing as much as I needed to in the flipping
Yeah. You
business.
were
So
flipping houses prior.
I was flipping houses. I'm an educator. I've been in education for over 20 years. And there was a point where my husband and I decided to move to take a position for him in education. He's a school superintendent. And we did it, but we also decided that one person had to be able to care for all of the family things. Our daughter was 3 at the time. The boys were 9 and 10, and sicknesses happen, laundry happens. And with him being a school superintendent in a new environment, new job, we knew that we were just going to try to keep me home. And that's what we did. And just, I tend to be the type of person that needs to keep busy and, crazy busy for some reason. Oh, when will this stop? It will never stop for me, Jim. I will never not be crazy busy and excited about something. So I ended up flipping houses. I've done it before, but in 2023 and 2024, I bought and sold. Well, I bought and flipped 3 houses, sold 2 of them, made a decent profit, probably about 20%. And I kept one because my mom ended up moving from Virginia to a mile up the road from me in my house that I had just flipped.
Right.
So because of that, I lost my immediate flipping money. And I needed to take a step back because I just didn't have the cash flow to buy the houses that I had been. The prices were going up. I was doing sheriff sales. I was putting tons of effort and work into them, but I needed something different.
Were you doing
So,
sweat equity, a lot of your own work on the houses?
oh, absolutely.
Yeah, right,
Absolutely.
right. But when that
I
third
don't
house
do,
kind of sucked up all the equity you'd accumulated, now
yes.
you're in a position where lower amount of capital to work with. You need something that you can get rolling without a lot of money in the bank and grow, right? Which
Yeah.
house flipping is not that.
No, but it's still something I love to do. And I will, I'm absolutely loving e-commerce and
Yeah.
it's been a whirlwind. I love to learn. I love the data, but
Okay, can I just pause and say thank you for mentioning the book? I'd forgotten or didn't realize that's how you got into our community. And
oh,
I'll stick a link in the show notes for anyone who wants it free. The book that you're referencing, Silent Sales Machine, it's in its 11th version. That's the version you would have heard since it was
I
a year
think
ago.
so.
Yeah, just the
Yes.
audio only version, right? It's an audible
Yes.
book only. Still haven't made the print version. People complain from time to time. And I'm like, sorry, we'll get to it when we can. But yeah, it's completely free at silentjimdotcom/free11 is the link, free 11. That's version 11. Yeah, so thank you for that feedback on the book. And I'm glad it had the intended impact, including encouraging and inspiring. Some people find it great. Other people, it repels away from our community, and that's fine too. I mean, I want to
Hmm.
work with people who we resonate with, and it sounds like what you've discovered in this community is really resonating with you so far. So excited to have you as part of it. All right. Well, keep going
I
wherever
love
you
it.
want to
Thank you.
go.
Well, I got a quick start. I got my first couple of ASINs out pretty easily. I enjoyed the quick start or jump start. At this
It's
point, everything is mush in my brain.
Kickstart, actually.
Kickstart was
silentjimdotcom
fantastic.
slash kickstart. Yeah. Well, you probably had Robin Olson as your teacher. She
I
does most of
did.
those.
I did.
And
Um,
it's a tremendous program for any PAC student. It's group accountability is what it is, along with a great coach on our team helping you through those first few steps. And for less than
Absolutely.
$100, it's a steal. Yeah.
Having the community, having people to talk to, and there are still some of the people from my group that we've friended, and we
Mhm.
will talk and comment on each other's posts in our community, and it really has become part of who I am in this venture is that Facebook group. Believe it or not, the genuine nature of most everyone I have been in contact with is just so it's overwhelming. Actually, I have a coach now, which was the best decision I had ever made, because so between October of 24 and May of 25, I lost my grandmother in December.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So it was really fast, but
Yeah.
then I had to help my mom, and there were just a couple of months of
Mm-hmm.
tough times that kind of pulled me away
Yeah.
from, refocusing. But I knew that this is what I wanted to do.
Mm.
And I that was right around when the conference was. I wanted so badly to be at the conference. That was everything that I knew I needed. And my brother happened to be between jobs at the time, and he is a tech person and almost 20 years younger than me, and just kind of the guy that this should be what he's doing. Like I can totally see him just doing wonderful things. He's the tech guy, the website developer. I actually didn't know, but he has worked for companies selling things on Amazon. So
Okay.
I really tried to pull him in, and I was scheduled for a vacation with my family during that week and the conference. So I talked my brother into going in my stead, because,
Gotcha.
he was just at that point where it was something he could do. I was at the point where him going was so important to me, because I wanted to be there and I couldn't be. So he went and made some connections and gave me his feedback. And a really funny point of that is my brother is hilarious. And I was a teacher teaching first grade when he was in first grade. So we have a pretty big age gap. But he called me and he's like, "Chelsea, these are your people."
Uh-huh. That's
these,
great.
these are your people. And I'm like,
Yeah.
"I think they are." He's like, "Oh
Yeah.
yeah, you
That's awesome.
totally fit in with this group."
That's great. Yeah. There is an air of it's a culture that's been built in no small part because of who we kind of repel, to be honest. But
Yeah,
it's an abundance mindset. It's success is there for anyone who wants it, and we're happy to help you get more of it. And that doesn't take
right.
anything away from my success to do so. So why wouldn't we? And the more we bring in driven, virtuous, intelligent, experienced people from other industries and other walks of life and other geographical locations, the more powerful our community becomes as a resource for all of us. So it's a very cooperative. You're not in a competitive environment. I think I even opened up the event by saying, hey, just make sure everyone realizes you're not sitting next to competitors. There's no competitors in the room with you today. We're in such a blue ocean of opportunity with such an abundance mindset and approach that these are all people who are rooting for you. And we can talk
Right.
about each other's businesses openly and encourage and support. It's not, secrets that you keep close to your chest around here. It's, hey, this is what's working for me. You guys should try this. Right. So I think that's what he probably picked up on, and he knows you're kind of that person as well.
Right.
And
Right.
it
Yes, he thought I was in the right place for sure. He met people and had great conversations, but I feel like I didn't get the content from him that I was looking for, but that alone, just that, hey, this is real. These people are real. This
Mhm.
community is real. I'm not being blindsided. I didn't read this book and, I'm not going to jump in with both feet and like crash, right? He did bring back the idea of coaching. And he was like, there was a lot of talk about coaching, 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 coaching. I have been a professional coach for at least 13 years of my life in education. I
Mhm.
taught teachers how to use a math and reading intervention program. And I understand the power of having somebody who knows the program or the programs or the concepts handhold you while you're doing it and lead you right down the right path instead of beating your head off of the walls or the classroom or the kids or what am I doing, changing settings that you have no business setting, changing.
Yes. Yes.
The correlation was just so easy for me that I knew because I made some mistakes. I,
Mhm.
I lost I lost some money. I made some really bad choices. And I can't say I'm glad I did, but because I did, I can look back and not do that again. And that is a lesson learned. When I signed up for coaching, I either had to stop because I was spending so much money that I didn't have and making poor choices of programs and resources that I read about here or there. But I knew that it was get a coach or this is going to end because my husband's looking at me like, are you making any money? I mean, I understand it's an investment for us, but he started to really question when I'm like, oh, don't use that credit card.
Right. Right. That's funny.
So, but coaching costs money, right?
Right.
And it's not cheap, but it is worth every penny, absolutely every penny. And I spoke to several people in a row. I believe it was a young lady who had hurt her back, maybe at the conference or on the way to the conference
At our office, yeah, that'd be
at
Deborah.
your office.
Yep. Yep. The whole team's been with us a long time. It's not a big company running this. Now we've got about 100 people on the leadership team, coaches,
Yeah.
administrators, content creators, but the people who actually sit in an office, you're talking about Deborah. She's a sweetheart.
Yes. So Deborah was camera off. She was laying in her bed talking to me. And I'm like, oh
Wow.
my gosh.
I didn't know she was working when she was hurt. That's so Deborah though.
Well, it was. And her husband was going to get somebody off of the plane that I had a conference call with. And I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
Deborah, I'm about to jump off a cliff here because this is a lot of money. But I know it's worth it. I knew that it was worth it. There wasn't a question in my mind just because I know what coaching does for somebody.
Yeah.
Just it's absolutely imperative. But I went and I was praying. I asked my husband. He was on the tractor. It was May. He's I had this conference call with somebody getting off the plane, Jeremy maybe. I don't know everybody's name, but he's the guy who does the coaching stuff.
Hmm.
My husband looked at me and he's like, "Sweetheart, I want you to make that decision." I'm like, thank you. Thanks so much. You're really helpful. He's like, but I will support your decision. So I had the call with Deborah. And I mean, I'm like, if I don't make this choice, I'm not serious. I'm not going to continue and going to continue to lose money. If I do make this choice, it's the only way that I'm going to be successful. But it's still that money factor and the investment. So I talked to Deborah and she laid it out really simple for me. She's like, you cannot or you can and be successful. But she talked me through my own fears. And it was really just financial. She said, look, she turned her camera on. And she's like, I'm in bed here. We are close knit. And I'm telling you that this coaching team will help you succeed. I have no doubt that you will be successful. And I believed her.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, okay. I think that's all I just needed that handhold to make that financial choice because finances were my big issue at the time. And I did. And I am so excited. I have Chris Beam as my coach. oh my goodness, if the universe put two people that needed each other, I don't know if she needs me, but I needed her so bad. She is my superwoman. She wears a cape.
Yes.
Um, her, she can give me 3 months worth of projects to do on my business in an hour,
Right.
which I love.
Yes. She will push you.
And she does. She does. And she has become a friend of mine. I feel very comfortable reaching out, asking questions. She gives me straight answers, which is, I appreciate so much. She and I are similar in age, children, background. We didn't come from e-commerce, but she is so successful, and I am so happy to have her as a mentor. And there are so many people that I still have on my list of
Mhm.
people that I can and will talk to and have coaching sessions with, but she is keeping me so busy. And, clearly I have, from coaching to now, I have probably sold, oh, hold on, I actually have my figures right here. Before I started coaching, I had only sold approximately $4,000. And I am sitting now at about 60,000 for the year.
Wow. Wow. Congrats. That's phenomenal. Yeah, you really took off fast, didn't you? That's awesome. Well, let me make one of the things I wanted to insert as you were talking about coaching and the benefits of it, and you come from a coaching background yourself,
Yes.
is I love the way Matt on our team puts it when he says the only thing more expensive than the right coach is not getting a coach.
Mm.
Right? Because of all the mistakes you're going to make and how much you would not be sitting in this position in your own words. You would have sold
No.
another few $1,000s and still trying to figure it out, thinking, oh, I'm not ready to commit. And we say a lot of people kind of languish in that purgatory of, am I in this or not? I don't know. I'm still experimenting. And the thing a coach does, it more than investing into your business, you're investing in yourself and saying, okay, time to get serious. And oh, by the way,
Right.
I'm going to have a mentor now who's doing it at scale, who can push me, maybe a little uncomfortably at times, which I think Chris has probably challenged you. Like, really, you want me to do what? Like, that's a lot. Like, no, you need to do it. Right. That's what coaching is. Like, I know you're
Absolutely.
capable of this, but you're down here right now. So
Right.
let's and it's not a comfortable journey to fill that gap sometimes. So yeah, I'm very proud of our coaching program. And it's just as an aside, in case there's anyone new around here listening, we've been doing e-commerce coaching for 20 years now. We figured a few things out. Nearly 10,000 students, and that just it blows my mind. But that's just persistence. But the main point I'm making is you can't do something 10,000 times without getting better at it.
Right.
So we've got a lot of things baked in here that give you some big advantages. And I'm so glad you're taking advantage of it. And thank you for sharing that part of your story. Yeah, well done. You're on it. You have a great trajectory, and you have leadership qualities all over you as well, which I love observing and pointing that out in people. Of like, I can't wait to see if the Lord allows and your trajectory includes this room in your life for you to be in some kind of role around here helping others. So you've got a teacher's heart already. You've already got a successful business. Those are the two qualifications. We'll maybe scale your business a little bit beyond where it is now. But there's plenty of people who are going to be saying, yeah, I'd love to work with someone like Chelsea to help me get ramped up and get to that level. We're always looking for good coaches. So yeah, just put that on your radar and putting that out there for the listeners as well. We didn't talk about this prior, but your demeanor, your energy, your mindset, your commitment, you understand and grasp the concepts, teacher's heart, successful story. You've got what we need around here. And that's what makes our team special is we recognize and recruit people like that. So I'm the first one to mention it if no one else has yet. I think you're on that trajectory.
Well, thank you. I would absolutely love that, but I have so much to learn
Oh, sure.
and
Absolutely. We all
grow.
do. Yeah.
And hey, I think I said 60,000 in sales this year.
Mhm.
It's 40, not 60, just to be very
Get that
clear
correction out
about that.
there.
I looked
Absolutely.
at my phone and I'm like, wait a second, did I hit 50 yet? I said 60. I want to be there.
Yeah, yeah. But well, you just had your first five-figure month,
Yes.
and you're doing great with your margins. You said before we hit record today, I think you said 17%, right? Approximately
17.5% so far.
17.5.
I
That's
I
phenomenal.
yeah, well, I was not very happy about that. But
Yeah. Oh, you can certainly do better. We see people as high as 25, 30 if you're really picky. But
right.
you're going to make some bad buys. You're going to have to liquidate some inventory. You're going to have to buy
Hmm.
some one-time purchases that impact, especially your first year's net margins
Sure.
on equipment and things. So 17 for your first year, 50,000 approximately into your business, you're in a pretty good place.
I feel like I am. I feel like I see it though. There like something clicked and it was just between November and December 1st. And I thought I went I bought an ASIN that a year ago I knew was just something I wanted to do. It's just something that I like and I wanted it because I know that people like these things. And when I'm passionate about something that I like and believe in, I can sell it, I can teach it, but I mean, it was simple. Last year, I bought 200, 200, $6 costs. It was a horrible mistake. I didn't know anything about checking
Keepa.
anything. I didn't know anything about anything. I just
Right.
bought them because I knew that this is what I wanted to sell.
Sure.
And not only was half of the inventory wrong, misprinted,
Hmm.
it's an advent calendar. It's an advent calendar with boxes, so you can build your own
Hmm.
um, advent calendar instead of having the pre-made chocolate kind.
Right.
Um, so I bought a whole bunch, and half was destroyed, and half was okay. The product was okay when I got it. It came from China. I thought I had free returns. I had free returns of one single item.
Hey, pardon the interruption for just a moment, but I've got to thank our sponsor, Sellerboard. How do you know if you're making money online as a reseller? Seller Central will show you your revenue, but it doesn't capture all the details, the refunds, the shifting fees, changing supplier prices, overhead. Well, that's why a lot of smart sellers are using Sellerboard. silentjimdotcom/numbers is where you can go to check them out. It's the profit analytics software that's built to keep your numbers straight. Sellerboard reconciles every sale and expense in real time. And with FIFO accounting, first in, first out, that means your profit reports stay accurate even when your cost of goods change from batch to batch. It now works with Walmart as well, so you can see your margins across both platforms all in one place. Here's the game changer as well for resellers. Sellerboard's new reseller workflow scans products in the store with the mobile app instantly. You can check out your profit potential, add items to your buy list, build offers, print labels, manage inbound FBA shipments, all while Sellerboard keeps the profit tracking accurate at every step. For just $15 a month and 2 months free trial, go to Sellerboard's website here, silentjim.com/numbers. It's the only way to get the 2 months free, silentjim.com/numbers. There'll be a link in the show notes as well. Understand your numbers today with Sellerboard, the accurate profit analytics software. Let's get back to today's episode.
The product was okay when I got it. It came from China. I thought I had free returns. I had free returns of one single item.
Wow. Yikes.
One item per order was a
Yeah.
free return. They
Right.
cost $6. So let me tell you what I still have in my garage is, boxes of these things that just make me really mad at myself for not knowing more. But I didn't know what I didn't know. It was
Right.
probably right around when I was just starting. I hadn't had my first box out, but look at me buying, I'm so cool. I just lost hundreds of dollars. Then I like, hey, I know what an ASIN is now. I can sell things. Oh, wait, what do you mean a brand owner and problems could arise? So now I'm checking Seller Central. I'm checking Amazon. And sure enough, this is something that it doesn't have this brand name on it, but I can guarantee that this is where that brand purchases their inventory because it's
Mhm.
the same thing,
Right.
but zero other listings on a
Mhm.
private label.
Mhm.
There's no way that I could touch that.
You're just
So,
asking for trouble. Yes. And you know how to look for those red flags now, which is a lot of the
oh
value of
man,
good instruction or having a coach. Instead of flying by instinct, or wow, this looks really cool, or wow, this is a low price. You've got to learn how to, you know, make sure you're only buying the right inventory. And you just didn't know that yet.
Yes,
So
I
we
didn't.
see that all the time out of new sellers. The cost of doing it yourself is $10,000 the first 6 months in
Easy,
mistakes.
easy.
Just
Just,
bad buys and things that you think are definite, like, oh, this is clearance. I'm going to clear the shelf. Oh,
uh-huh,
I'm gated and I can't return it now. And it's in my garage. Or worse yet, the
uh-huh.
people who fall for private label. I won't even get into that, trying to launch your own brand. If you thought, oh, I'm going to just put this calendar under my own brand and launch it under my own brand, that would have been compounding mistakes on top of mistakes. It would have
Right.
flopped miserably. And a lot of people try to do that. So yeah, that's the value of having good instruction. And you learned, thankfully, those lessons within a few $100s of mistakes. Got a coach, got
Well,
instructed.
that was just one. I mean, I have several others, which I'm not
Mm,
proud of, but
right.
without those, without knowing that I was making those mistakes,
Yeah, of
without seeing like,
course.
oh my gosh. I'm also like at this point, before I had the coach, I'm throwing things off of my brother. Like, do you know anything about this? What about this? How about this product? This product? Oh, but I can get it for $599 for the year. It's an investment. Boom. I don't use that program. I don't need that program, but I bought it because it had a thing that popped up when I'm looking at Seller Central, and it gave me information. Now I know much better. I know of good programs. I know, very early I heard of 3P Mercury, and I wanted so badly as the newest of newbies to learn off of that platform. Like, I don't have anything yet. I don't have any organization. I think I should learn off of this. I think it would be a good starting spot to have some type of organization that I could live in one place. I didn't do it. Since then, I do have 3P Mercury, but I've seen it go do 500 other things, and I'm so excited to jump in, but I have to deal with one thing at a time. And
Yes.
that's, what I'm learning.
Hmm.
I have great ideas. I have, not only did I start one business, Chris helped me understand that I needed to start a new LLC. My old LLC was not going to jive. It
Right.
was very important for me to separate the two businesses. So I did that. But not only did I, do my e-commerce business, but I did a DBA called Kite Eyes, which is where the shirts are coming from.
Oh,
Um,
yes. For those who are listening only, we talked about this before we hit record today. Let's describe the shirt you're wearing today. I'm flattered and a little embarrassed, but it's really cool.
well, my DBA is called Kai Dies, which
Mhm.
came about because my son's name is Kai and he was doing a young entrepreneurs thing over the summer,
Okay.
which was lovely because it brought our family together. We were serving our community by offering tie dye. And I purchased inventory that dyeable things, shirts, dresses, sarongs, hats, just things that you can tie dye. And we were set up with all of the dyes, and Kai had, is leading the whole thing. And we learned how to do a couple of simple tie dye patterns, and he was helping people. And it was a family event. It was so fun. So we ran with it because it was a perfect combination between e-commerce and this other thing that I need in my life, another business. So we have two businesses now. One is Kai Dyes. Kai Dyes is it's a tie-dye concept, but do it yourself, build it yourself. I learned quickly that I am not a tie-dye artist. I like to tie-dye because of the experience. And I think that's what is really important to know. Nobody wants to buy my tie-dyes, although I'm wearing one. I got into a little bit of AI, creating logos. I have, I'm going to, the listeners can't see this, but this is just a little tie-dye logo that I created, made several logos. Then I started thinking of our community, and it sparked when Chris said something to me that has lived in my family kind of hilariously. She looked at me. I was struggling because our insurance premiums went up, and I was trying to figure out a way to use the business to purchase insurance. Like, we were having this conversation, and she looked at me and she said, instead of trying to fix something that's already going to be bad. You just need to focus on making more money. Just make more money. And that hit me like a ton of bricks. And she was so right. And I had to change my mindset that
Mhm.
I can scale, I can do this. It will be easier for me to make more money than it will be to change the state of insurance in my life. So I told my husband that, and he laughed so hard. And we just say it all of the time now. Hey, honey, this and this and this and this. Well, we just need to make more money.
Yep.
And so that is a running joke. So I built a couple of shirts. I bought kiteeyes.com because, that's what I shouldn't have been doing at that time, but that's what I did. I bought kiteeyes.com. I built some concepts. One of them, like this shirt says, it has your picture on it and it says, stay calm, find more ASINs. I have, I
I've got
have a
the
whole
I've got a mug from the Olsons that says basically keep calm and test more ASINs.
and
Same
test.
thing.
I love it.
We're two great coaches on our team. They do Coaches Corner podcast episodes here. So yeah, that's a saying around here. That fixes every problem with an Amazon reseller business. It's the
It
fact that you put
does.
my picture on there that has me a little. And you said you're going to send me one of those, right?
I absolutely am.
That's
I
great.
I have I I have it pressed and ready to go.
Thank you. That's very cool of you. Cool, a kind gesture. And I love that little side gig business thing and I hope it does great things for you guys. That's tremendous. I love seeing families doing business together. And that's what this Amazon does. I've seen this dynamic play out over and over again. It just opens up little doors of opportunity for things that you can tackle together for whoever wants to be a part of it. And off you go. And now you're building family at the same time as you're building your bank account, making more money, right? To solve
You
this
made
these
that
challenges.
mention in your book.
Yeah.
So when I heard you and your story, that part was really important to me because I'm a mom. That's what I do full time. And
Mhm.
that's what I do in between the times where I'm doing e-commerce. That's my first job. But I can guarantee you that if a child comes into my house and sees a whole bunch of anything, mom, is this for sale? Or can we have it?
Oh, it happens. Yes, I love it. Yeah, that's common.
Ava Grace, will you want to help me put on some stickers? We do work together. And I also like the idea that when my boys are older, like this is a transferable business. This is
Yes, it is.
something that if they want it, they will have a great coach. If this is something that is really interesting to you, we can do it. It's really cool like that. And you sold me and I believed you. And here I am. I did it.
Yes, you've built the foundation. You're in a
Yeah.
great position. One of the reasons I love interviewing people who are at about the size you are is because I say this all the time. You've crossed all those early checkpoints. The foundation's in place. You can build whatever structure you want on that foundation. It could be a two-story building. It could be a 500-story building. The
Right.
structure and the foundation is there. You understand the base concepts. Now it's just a matter of how much money do you want to put into it? How
Right.
automated do you want to make it? At some point, you'll probably get prep out of your house, use a prep center, right? You'll probably start automating some of these processes using tools. It starts stepping away from the business a little bit to free up your time to do other things. That's all
Yeah.
possible now because you understand the foundational elements
Right.
of
And
the.
I cannot wait. I feel like I know what I should have known or wanted to know. You can't know what you don't know.
Mhm.
But I feel like I can. I feel like I am set at the spot where I can move forward. And, I know I am small fry compared to so many people, but I feel really, really happy. I
Yeah.
feel excited to be where I am. I love the support of the community, my coach. I can't wait to learn more from other people. Things are sparked that I just wouldn't have the opportunity to even think of without such a large group of people that are caring and compassionate and, like-minded. I was thinking after you asked me to do this podcast and I told you no.
Most people
I
do. And
I
I kind of
I
have to
I
talk them down. It's not that big of a deal. It's just a
well,
conversation. Yeah.
I believed you, Jim. You're right that inspiration comes from hearing others.
Hmm.
It's not going to be the same. Everybody is not in the same place. You know, maybe not everybody is chasing down UPS workers like I am and, waving my boxes. I know my local UPS guy now because he waves to me when he sees my car and he's kind of, is she going to stop and stop me? I hold treats in my car for the UPS people that I run down,
That's awesome.
but it's not the exact same as the people who are using prep centers or are a prep center or have warehouses or private label. But it's so awesome because I can learn from them and learn questions that I didn't even know I could ask. Just concepts. It's so beautiful and there's so much information that I just can't learn fast enough. I just want to sponge more, and I'm just really excited about it.
Well, you're doing a tremendous job. I don't know if you realize it or not, but you've encouraged a whole bunch of people with what you've shared today in ways that I never could have. There's going to be people who relate to you and resonate with you. You're going to have people reach out to you, and you're going to build a whole new network of incredible connections and relationships. And one of the things that you mentioned, the 2 a.m. list earlier, I'll just kind of give a brief version of that lesson because it is so valuable. A mentor of mine who I actually had a chance to meet with just this morning, that he taught me many years ago that if you want to measure your capacity for success in business or in life in general, for that matter, just go through and write down your 2 a.m. list. And the bigger the list, the greater your capacity for success in business and in life. And that 2 a.m. list is simply, as you stated earlier, Chelsea, that list of people that if you called them in the middle of the night and woke them up and they saw that it was your name, they would pick up the phone and say something like, whatever you need, I'm there. How many people are on that list? Is it 2 people? Is it 5 people? That's kind of sad if you're, approaching your 30s, 40s, and you only have maybe 2 or 5, 10 people on that list. Or is it 20? Is it 50? Is it 100? Is it 1,000 people on that list? And by serving and pouring into business, what you're doing is you're growing that list pretty much every day. By being on this podcast episode, there's going to be a handful of people now that you don't even realize are on that list now because you're the one that sparked that hope. They're in a dark place and like, all right, look what Chelsea, I can do this. I'm going to do this. And you become a hero to them. And if they saw your name at 2 a.m, they'd answer, even though you don't know who that person is, they probably will introduce themselves at some point. And you've got more names on that list now. And part of the power of doing this podcast for my family and I is we can go pretty much anywhere in the world now, and there's going to be someone within a reasonable proximity of where we are. They're like, hey, I'd love to show you around. Hey, I'd love to take you to dinner. Hey, I'd love to meet you guys, right? Our list is why? Because we got into business, we serve with excellence, and we share our story as we go, which is what you're doing today. So don't wait till you're big and successful and way past those benchmarks that you have in your mind. Share your journey from 0 to 1 is powerful. And I love these episodes of people who have gone from clueless newbie to they have the foundation in place and they're excited about the future because it's so inspirational. And no one can say, well, yeah, I can't really relate. She's doing 6 figures a month and I'll never get there. Those are kind of unrelatable stories at times for people, but very relatable. Thank you for doing this today. One thing I want to
Absolutely.
do with you, Chelsea, before we get going is, and I forgot to mention this to you before we hit record. So if you don't have anything for me here, that's fine. But if you got any specific tips or insights for people who are maybe a few steps behind where you are, like if I had it to do over again, or here's something you need to know, or here's a piece of advice I wish someone had told me, stuff like that. If you got a handful off the top of your head, if not, no big deal. But I'm guessing you probably might have a few.
Absolutely. One, if you're serious, get a coach if you don't have one. I just can't say that more clearly. Truly, if you don't know what you don't know, they will tell you. And that, I mean, that's just, it's priceless. It's priceless. The connections are priceless. Number two, I would have not gone for super high priced ASINs. And when I say super high price, when I was early, I thought that if I spent more money, let's say $250 purchase price, if I spend more, I'm going to make more. It's true. You will. You'll make more. But how many are you going to sell? Are you going to sell one? maybe two over a month. Chris taught me to change my mindset to how much can you sell this month? This month, get it out, get it in. How much can you sell? And that concept helped me financially because I'm looking at ROI, return on investment, and a dollar is a dollar. If I make a dollar for every single thing that I pack up after all of the costs and send it in, if I sent 200 items in this week, I just made $200. I have found more success and swiftness. Like people buy this stuff. I can't believe it. Like to see 150 sales in a day or two or items, just things like being
Right.
sold at such
Yes.
a fast velocity. My ROI on something that is a $3 purchase, I can buy 100 or 200 of those $3 items. Now I have to go find them, which is kind of a next step for me. But if you can find a handful of $3 to $5 buy cost items that will make you $1 or $2, and some of them I'm making 110% on a $3 item after Amazon fees, after shipping, and I just sold out before my inventory got to the warehouse. So
Right.
I have everybody in my family looking for things like all over the country. Like, hey, can you go find as many of these as you can?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that
And
one,
what store is your favorite for that, by the way? Don't give us the product, but what store are you seeing?
Dollar General.
I love it. That's great. They're everywhere. They're everywhere.
Yeah, they
There's
are. They
winning
are everywhere.
inventory literally everywhere. Yes.
Yeah, I love to share those things. I was burned. Okay, so you get ungated, you start to get ungated. I got ungated for Xbox and I figured that out one day. I was sourcing and I'm like, what? Xbox? Yes, score. That was the worst thing I could have done. I wish Xbox did not ungate me. There are brands that are too big for my britches, and Xbox is one of them. And I have at least $700 right here of really cool Xbox controllers that
eBay, Facebook Marketplace.
I have kids,
Yeah, gift Christmas presents too. Yeah.
yes.
You
And
know
I
what we
haven't,
call that in the industry, that pile that slowly grows if you don't pay
mm,
attention to it? Have you heard what we call it?
I don't
We
know.
call it the death pile.
Oh, yeah.
It slowly takes over. And that's
Yeah.
the thing about, people who have had eBay businesses for decades, they have legendary death piles. And they
Yeah.
can't sell their business, by the way. Nobody wants it. Who wants the pile of stuff I could never sell in this warehouse I still have to pay rent for? Who's any takers? No, no one wants
Yeah.
that. Burn it down with a match, right? Like that's where you're going. But with Amazon, the beauty is you're going to have a few things that trickle back. You're going to have to figure out a system to get rid of those, to sell them. Facebook Marketplace, eBay, somewhere else, right? You're going to probably lose a little money, but get it out of your house, turn it back into money.
Hmm.
But with Amazon, you're getting it out of your house. It's going to a warehouse. If you don't want it anymore, drop
Right.
the price. It's gone. You don't have this pile of stuff that's accumulating. Ideally,
Right.
shouldn't if you're
And
doing it right.
I have a I don't know if everybody does this, but I talk to people in my head all the time. People, there's Ron Bob Larson. I think that's his name.
John Larson.
John,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he and I go at it in my brain all the time. He comments on some of my things. I love his personality. I have never met him, but like I have
Very matter
this
of fact.
and I think that's just the kind of person that I resonate with because I just need the truth. And he gives me the truth and I argue with him
In your mind. That's
in
great.
my mind. Oh, all the time. And I told him that the other day. But I also I have a Zanzibar t-shirt coming out soon. And these t-shirts are just for gifts and things at this point. But he's getting my first Zanzibar t-shirt ever. And I'm starting to hear his truth. And it makes sense. He's winning some arguments in my life and clearing out, like today, I am clearing out the ones and twos, the death piles that are accumulating that aren't going to random people for Christmas presents. I would love to not have a death pile. I think buying smart starting what you guys always say, an inch deep and a mile
Mile
wide
wide.
is
Yeah.
so important.
Yes.
I have 91 ASINs right now that are active. I need to clean house. Like I need to start focusing more on my more profitable ASINs. I'd love to have 91 successful booming ASINs, but I want to focus on really replenishing my bank account.
Mhm.
So, to the question of what would I suggest is realize that a dollar is a dollar. And if you can buy 100 of something and make $100 and not invest a whole bunch, I bought a whole bunch of watches last Christmas. Woo! I was really, really, really happy when they finally were all gone. That stuff costs money, and keeping things moving. What can you get in and out and sell and find them and keep going with those and always keep searching for new ASINs, but looking at that return of investment really helped me be able to see what's possible.
Outstanding tips. Yes. And when we say inch deep, mile wide, sometimes people are confused. But all we mean by that is don't overcommit into any one product, especially if you're new. If you're buying more than 10 or 20 units of anything, you're probably about to make a massive mistake if you're a new seller. What's a new seller? Someone who hasn't had, say, a $10,000 sales month yet. If you're buying more than 10 to 20 units of anything, caution, because any ASIN can get turned off anytime. And you've got all those units now sitting in an FBA warehouse and you got to recall them, right? Or you went in too deep thinking you have some huge advantage that really doesn't ever transpire, right? So yeah, be very cautious, inch deep, mile wide, a few units of anything. And there's plenty of people in our community now at scale. That's their entire model. They don't buy a bunch of anything ever. It's just not necessary. It's unnecessary risk. There's so many great ASINs out there. Buy a few of each one of them. And if one of them crashes and burns, okay, I get 3 units back. What am I going to do? Give it away, sell it on Facebook Marketplace, eBay, something like that. I'm not getting 300 units back. I'm getting 3 or 4 or 5, right? That's my worst case scenario on any ASIN. And you really can scale that way, especially when you have software doing the heavy lifting of identifying the
Right.
winners for you constantly. And even if Amazon says, hey, we need you to send us 200 units to keep up with demand. No, I think I'm going to send you 15 units or 10 units maybe. I'm not
Mhm.
going to send you what you want. I'm going to get in, get out, make my profit, make another decision a few weeks from now if I want to continue. And I'm going to keep finding more ASINs, like your t-shirt says, right? That's the solution forward. More ASINs, not more discounts on the ones I've already got.
Right.
That's the path forward. So great tips. You've got a lot of good insights already for this business. And I'd love to continue a conversation, but we're out of time. And I've got a calendar that's filled up on me today a little bit. So Chelsea, you've done a tremendous job. Are there any parting thoughts, anything else? You've really already hit with some great tips and encouragement, but I don't want to cut you off if there's any parting thoughts you had before we wind down this episode today.
I don't know. I think just I'm so grateful and I feel blessed to have been found and led to this community. And, you know, you're pretty much a superstar around here. And I am starstruck just being in your presence, but also calmed. And that is just, it means so much. It means more than the advice. I
Hmm.
believe you. I believe the process. And there's something about that that is what makes me want to be here, continue to learn, continue to grow, and give back.
Well,
So,
I'm humbled by that. Thank you so much. It just you'll figure it out pretty soon. Like I'm just another member around here. I'm the guy that set up a Facebook group. I started experimenting around with all of this a little sooner than most of us.
right,
But really, I'm just another guy who's here to learn and be challenged and ask stupid questions and figure this thing out. Because we are in the fastest growing economic sector in the world, e-commerce. It's outpacing everything, and it's still relatively small compared to other retail. It's tiny compared to traditional retail. It's far less than 20% of retail is online. So we're in this rapidly expanding new blue ocean. If anyone stands up and says, I'm the expert, ask me all your questions, like don't trust that person because it's changing constantly. So I appreciate the accolades. I really do. And I'm not just trying to come across as humble. I really do feel clueless much of the time. And we've sold tens of millions of dollars in this space. And I'm still learning things that I probably should have known years ago. constantly
Right.
because we're pioneers who, the best equivalent I can come up with is we all hitched our horses to our wagons and said, let's go that way, and off we went. And I'm a few miles ahead of some other people, sure, but I'm running into new stuff every day that I'm like, what in the world is this? But it's so much opportunity. And when we do it together and support and have this, again, this community and this mindset of abundance, it serves us all so well. And you're already contributing more than you realize to that whole community culture. And I really appreciate your heart and your attitude. And thanks for agreeing to be on the show. Sorry I had to twist your arm a little bit, but I knew it was going to be a great episode. Just wait. You're going to hear from some great people who are going to want to reach out and connect with you. Yeah, I'm sure what you've shared has resonated today. So thank you for that, Chelsea.
I appreciate it, Jim. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, God bless you. For those who are listening to this episode, maybe it's one of the first episodes of our podcast, and you're thinking, wow, that was kind of cool. I want to do more of that. I've got some good news. We have over 1,100 episodes now, and hundreds of them, the vast majority, are exactly this. Not Chelsea, obviously, but other guests, other proven Amazon course students, other coaching students sharing their story with transparency, sharing their journey, giving you tips, insights, and encouragement. Hundreds of those episodes. So just scroll back in time and hear some of those. And then when you're ready to make a decision, take Chelsea's advice, give us a call, get on our calendar. We want to talk to you completely free. Just have a conversation. Go to silentjimdotcom, click on coaching, and get on our calendar. Or you can text us if you're more comfortable doing that. But we're going to try to figure out a way to meet you over time because it's all about relationships. But thanks for listening. We'll have more good episodes for you very soon. Merry Christmas, business building warriors. If you're listening to this in real time, we'll talk to you very soon. Hey, thanks for joining us today. I've got one last announcement. It's a thank you to our sponsor today, Sellerboard. You can find them at silentjimdotcom/numbers. Hey, seller, if you want to know your true profits, Sellerboard tracks every fee, refund, the shifting cost of goods, plus a full reseller workflow. Everything from scanning in store to shipping your FBA shipments. Pricing starts as little as $15. And if you use the link I gave you, you get 2 months of a free trial. Get started at silentjim.com/numbers. Thanks for listening today. We'll have another great episode for you very soon.